What's up, everybody? It's your boy M. So I had a thought, man, and I wanted to share with you guys. So I was thinking about gaining more opportunities, right? And I started to think, your job is not going to get you more opportunities. Let me tell you why I say that. You see, your job, it pays you a certain amount of money every month for you to survive. And remember, in our economy, right, things are more expensive and basically more expensive, and our incomes can't purchase the things that we need at a reasonable price to give us a better lifestyle, right? And I started to think, maybe it's the way that we're getting paid is the issue, right? Because we already know that that is the issue, but the way that we're examining it, right? So if you work your job, let's look at ourselves as a certain type of animal. Follow me. A rabbit has to continue to eat grass to sustain itself throughout the day, right? But a lion just has to eat one zebra for the rest of the day and it should be good. So I got something here that I was looking online and I was just fascinated. I took a screenshot of it. I'm going to share it with you guys on the screen. Hold on. And so it says here, lions work hunt about 2 to 3 hours a day because the low success rate is roughly 15 to 30%, right? Now, they need to eat at least 90 pounds of meat to be successful. Now, if we look up how much a buffalo, hold on, let me look this up. A buffalo, how big is a buffalo? Hold on. How big is a buffalo? A buffalo weighs about 1,000 pounds or more. So imagine if a lion catches one buffalo. I remember there's going to be multiple lions with them. And so one male lion can take down one buffalo. So imagine you have two male lions take down one buffalo, and the next two take down another buffalo. That's around 2,000 pounds of meat. One lion can eat a leg of a buffalo and be full and not finish that whole thing off. And so it could feed a whole pride of lions. And they said 30 to 15%. They didn't specify if that was just one lion. So imagine if it was two lions now. That's 60%. Three lions. They have a 90% chance of taking down that buffalo. So looking at this data that, it's off because they don't really give us more context. Because you're looking at, 30%, but that's not telling you how many lions are involved. What's the skill of each lion, right? Now, if it's a young lion, I can see the 15%. But when you got the numbers behind you, right, that's gonna that's gonna grow exponentially. And they have to be in the field doing all this running and catching all that stuff. So it kind of brings me back to us in our modern society. I was looking at something from Elon Musk, and they're talking about how much money he was making from his deal off of SpaceX. That guy is making about $24 million a day. Now, if you put that in perspective, what if that was you getting a fraction of that? You just need $1 million. You would be set. No, let's bump it up. Let's bring it down actually. If you got 500,000, right, and you know where to put that money at, which is basically the stock market, and let it grow and pay you $3,000 a month. And let's say that if you put 500,000, it paid you $6,000 every month, and you just took half of that. You paid Uncle Sam the three, and then you had the 3 grand, and you lived in a cheap place like Texas or Florida, or even cheaper than that, Milwaukee or something like that. You could pay for your living and be cool, and then you just work your little side job while you're doing something else. But that one kill of $500,000 got you that. Now, my question is, the jobs that we do, they support us, right? But they don't give you that success that you're looking for. And that's why I believe that we got to invest in ourselves. Build a small little business, boutique, investment, entertainment, education, something that people want that you can offer them to help them build something and for you to get something out of them as well. Give and take. The lion, it hunts down the buffalo. Buffalo been eating the grass. Is a give and take of nature. Now, what's a give and take in our modern world? Is access to information, entertainment for their time, attention, or money, right? And I think that that is the thing that we need to figure out. What is a source that we can tap into that we don't have to work that long? We can work 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. Let's say 6 hours a day minimum, right? And you can make a good income. You can stop your day and go home and enjoy yourself, whether that's with your family or just by yourself. And it makes me think, in other parts of the world, they don't work crazy hours like we do in America. I'm telling you, we gotta work 12-hour shifts. We gotta we gotta work 8-hour shifts in places that we don't like with people we don't enjoy being with. And it's just put into perspective that something about our modern day life is not the best way to live our lives. And we need to find a way out of it. We need to find a way out of certain situations. And I believe debt is keeping us in the situation. So it's so important to get out of debt and live below your means. And I would say definitely leave the place that you're at that's super expensive. California, New York, Chicago, anything that's trying to charge you a lot of money just to live is a problem. Because you don't need to spend that much money to live somewhere. I believe that, that's a mistake that a lot of us are making. We need to find places that are going to give us the best bang for our buck and we can get more value out of the place that we're living at. Rather than going to this place that's going to be super expensive and the idea of, oh yeah, luxury. That's a trap. And that's a trap that's keeping all of us stuck. So we need to find out what is the thing that can get us out of the trap. Where's a place that can give us the most growth opportunity, the most access to resources? Because the reason why lions can eat so good, right, is because they live in Africa and they live in certain parts of Africa that gives them a lot of resources. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with the Amazon. Amazon has plenty of food for the animals to eat. Because probably we think, oh, animals are uncomfortable living there. But we don't know that. What if they're absolutely comfortable in there? Only thing they have to worry about is their other competition, other competitors after their food, other competitors that might eat them. Because at the end of the day, human beings are not really prey. We are really hunters, and other hunting animals don't want to deal with us. There's only one or two animals that will try to hunt down humans, and that's like a polar bear or something like that. But there's so much other things out here that we can do as humans to gain opportunity. But we gotta get into a better position. A better place that's gonna give us more bang for our buck. But that's what I got for you guys, man. Let me know what you think about this one. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.